Feels like I'm forgetting something. Who knows? Let's go check over here for a sec. This shit working? That's not up. Alright. Okay. Probably gonna have to relaunch Krita. So let's just do it now. Kind of forgot about that. Um. Okay. So here's the deal. I don't know how to draw still. I think I'm gonna do the Twitter thing that we've had queued up since pre Headspace. We're gonna try and do a little bit of like body shapes here today. They're just gonna be sketches, and maybe if there's some time, maybe we'll pull off a knife. In terms of uh, you know, maybe Friday through Monday schedule stuff. I'm not really sure what to go for. I want to work on hair, but I don't know how to do that. I feel like the best way is that just draw, I guess, but like I don't know, if I draw real people, who do I pick? Do I just like look up famous people maybe and try that? That way it's like not super weird. I don't know. Um it feels super weird. Anyway, so this person, this is their like sketches of a like a bunch of forms. It looks like they use a couple different methods here. They do like a box method and some sort of like tube method. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I've never done this before, but that is like the point. Um, so I guess we'll just kind of send it. Uh, what if I just try and do something? So my big problem, I feel like very constantly. God, looks so messy. Hold on. My big problem is proportion. Like I can look at something and I can like estimate it and it'll be off, and then I can like slowly get it in, right, into like a decent measurement, but like it won't look right and things won't match. It won't be consistent. We're starting top left. Okay. I'm gonna try and do the little box method they've done here. I don't think it's gonna work for me. What this entails usually is drawing your boxes and then drawing inside your boxes and then erasing the boxes for your like your next steps. Or if it's digital, they'll fuck, I don't even remember how. They lighten it basically and then draw over it. I don't really even like doing that. I feel like it's added steps that often offer no real benefit for me. And so I end up drawing this box and it just looks like fucking slop all over my paper or on the canvas, if you will. Right? It's just so overwhelmingly extra. But we're going to try it because just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean maybe this isn't the best method to work on it with. And I want to be clear, just because maybe this will work out doesn't mean that I think it's a good method for me. It's just I feel like it's just too much most of the time. It's like an overwhelming amount of information that for a newer person is just not going to benefit them. It's just gonna fucking crowd the paper or the canvas to a degree that they're just gonna lose themselves and it's not gonna have the intended effect. Okay. I feel like already this box, this whole person's like torso, I guess, is too small. I did take a bunch of pictures of knives. They did not come out well. I need to change some settings on, I guess, the camera. I feel like they started out really good, and now there's like a delay between when I like press to take the picture or not, and I keep like pulling the camera away and like ruining the fucking focus because of that. I need to figure out what the fuck I pressed to turn that on because I didn't used to have it. My only other option is I think maybe potentially it could be the SD card. I mean, it's like a 200 megabit per second card, so it should have been enough. Anyway, we're stealing this person's hard work. We're using it to learn, and we're probably not gonna do it justice. So, but maybe we'll do some depending on how this goes, maybe we'll try and do some knife-based sketches. I feel like those are actually more fun and honestly tend to come out better as a result. Man, I feel like I'm wasting my time with this. It's one of those things that like in theory it should help, but like in practice, I just don't think this does anything. Like maybe it helps some people, but I just don't feel like this does anything for me. Feel like if anything, it's like worse. God damn it, dude. I guess we're using lasso tool. I don't know what I just pressed. Hello? Fuck was that? Okay. Maybe that'll be better. All right, my thought process here is I don't think this part of the body can ever really be that like out of line with, right? Like if that's your angle, I don't think it can be that out of line. It has to like there's like a central pivot point like right here. So it can only like come in like this, but that also would come in, you know what I mean? I guess maybe it's like a matter of I'm not good enough for this to matter. So this feels like it really doesn't matter to me. That looks fucking terrible, by the way. You know, I picked this exercise where this person's work because I felt like there's a couple of them with like really decent like proportions, like full body wise. But looking at this particular one, I feel like it's very off. It's weird. Okay. So this is now the part where I should try drawing in the rest of the body. Now I feel like here is way off perspective wise. We want it to be more like, how do I do it? More like this. Okay. The thing is, I look at this, and this this could be either way. Like one time I'll look at it and it's like this, and another time I'll look at it and it's like this for me, if that makes sense. Like this part here can be inside or outside, depending on like whether or not I look up too fast. Like this corner here could be that back corner, if that makes sense. Which it does. I know it does. All right. So, this is the part where fuck, I can't remember how to do this. I think we're just going to draw over it. Maybe we'll just pick a different color. Let's just do it that way. And then if we come down to try and do a line art, that'll be a black again. That's like the only way I can keep this from getting too crazy for me. Jesus Christ, that looks terrible. You know what? I still see red there. Let's add a layer. That's way too small. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay, so that is not adding up. Dude, what the fuck am I doing, man? I feel like it's too fat in the back. Maybe we only do this one and we just move on from it. You know, all right, hold on. Let's not, let's stop, let's stop. Let's just hide this for a second. Hold on. Okay. Let's get it back out. Let's switch to this. Let's rearrange this so that it's maybe just a smidge over to here. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Deselect that. We'll use this to anchor ourselves. So we'll go up and then kind of come out, which doesn't really make sense now that I'm looking at the way they did this. But, okay. All right. So now we have that. Forget that. Okay. I know this isn't the ideal way to do this, but I'm a noob, man. I'm level 1 noob. This is how I've got to do it right now. So right now I'm feeling like the shoulder's too short here. But we're just gonna roll with it for a sec. Yeah. They didn't draw the fucking torso. Oh no. Okay. Why did I pick this dude? It's interesting. All right, hear me out. Great work for them. I'm sure this all makes perfect sense for them. It's really like overall pretty clean lines. I'm not like trying to criticize this at all, but it's interesting that this person's brain works for this. But for me, looking at this, it doesn't, like, I get that it's not supposed to be finished, but it doesn't feel right, like, at all. Like, at a glance, it felt perfectly fine to me because I'm so inexperienced, especially when I went and did it. Like, this is probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? I was very, very inexperienced, right? I'm still very, very inexperienced, but I do have a little bit more now, and I feel like there's actually quite a lot wrong with this. Anatomically speaking, it doesn't really fucking make any sense, right? Like we already mentioned, the spine kind of deviating out and up doesn't make any fucking sense. Um, the the missing torso bit, like, okay, I get maybe the box is sort pseudo rib cage esque, but like they did it right in some of the other ones. The one I happen to be drawing just seems to be the only one that they, I guess, maybe didn't continue on properly. I don't want to say properly, I guess, but you know, they didn't do. Bro, what the fuck? I feel like I'm drawing a hand, man. This is not right. I think part of my problem is I'm copying something that isn't quite right either. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're it'd be like trying to not, it's not that bad for this, but the absolute worst case would probably be like trying to copy AI, right? Where it just wouldn't even fucking make sense. I think the proportions are just like way weird on this. It's funny because it kind of, the box I think hides this. The box hides how fucking weird it is. I think the box is like a detrimental handicap to a lot of people. They like learn that you can box and therefore they box. But like the truth is the box isn't real. It can't help you. So let's just see. All right. So we've somehow managed to make it too big and too small at the same time. So let's try and clean this up. Here's the deal. While that is my fault, at the same time, it's not my fault. That's the way the original is. It's too small. Okay. Now, to be fair, I did draw the box pretty far off, the top box specifically. So that's a real problem. But I wasn't following the box, so it shouldn't have mattered for this. Yeah, I think maybe we stop after this one. I don't think, first off, this person is great, and what they did works for them. It's very stylistic. I obviously visually like it. I don't think it's right for me, and I honestly don't think it's really anatomically very right, which is an interesting thing to say from someone who obviously can't draw very well, right? It's just a stylistic difference that I can't reconcile. We'll go with that, right? Because this is like maybe out more. This is like I don't know how to put it. It's fuck. How do I put it without it kind of sounding rude? I think it's like the only way I've ever seen this is on Twitter through fetish art. Thinking about it, it's like this isn't, but the only way I ever really see this art is that, and like that as a tattoo idea. It's like this very it's a particular style that's like very naked woman tattooey, where she's somehow very fit and thin but has rolls of fat. And I'm not saying like plenty of humans of all shapes and sizes, like they have skin folds and whatnot, and it's like it's a pseudo hyper realistic, very stylized, but like not realistic woman. I don't know how else to put it. Like it's usually highly detailed, not hyper realistic, hyper detailed. Um, but like the proportions I feel like are just way weird sometimes. And that could just be maybe it's more human accurate. That could just be that I am so used to like anime and other shit that this just looks extremely weird to me. But this looks extremely weird to me. Hold on. Can I I'm contemplating whether or not I should copy the image, open it in Krita, and try and finish the body to prove myself right. I feel like we don't need to. The torso kind of comes up. If you follow the line, it will come up and it will terminate under the shoulder, right? It'll terminate in the armpit, but it should come out past the armpit. The reason it does that is because the bottom of their spine is too fucked. So they've really stylized the spine here, which again is part of that like she's got fertile hips and a fat ass and a hourglass waist look. And this isn't the only like style to use it, but she's got the hip dips and shit, and it's like that's not necessarily not what a human body can look like, but the problem is when you really stylize the spine like that. Um, hold on. Their spine, the way they're doing the spine, ends up kind of like this, right? So like everything, all the meat and bones attached to it don't add up. Which is where those like hyper detailed like extra things come from, right? The weird extra thinning that, you know, some people do have. You know, I'm not saying humans can't have like that, what we'll call like a muffin top shape. Of course they can. But it's like always super weird where it's like I said, hourglassy, where like this will be like the waist, and then suddenly it's the ribs again, but they're like massive. And again, it'll be like at this strange angle. I think we just picked something that was bad to work with, particularly for us. Although I feel like they did a lot better with one of them here. A lot of them are that like tattoo style, but the one we started with just happens to be like the least sense makey one. And when you're as bad as me, you can't fill in the gaps of the DNA. Because if we follow it, this terminates like this has to terminate honestly behind the shoulder, which would make like zero fucking sense. This one you can follow, and it terminates in front of the shoulder because it has to. You have a rib cage. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to delete this and we're going to delete that. We're going to try one more thing from this. I mean, they have some here that are full bodies and they're like good in that they're good, but they're like very stylized. They feel like what I'll say is like some of them, because of the way they did like the circles and the ovals, really feel like dolls, like compartmentalized. Man, you know what? I don't think I do it. I think the spine is too messed up on these for I can't do the stylization that's required to pull off the broken spine, right? The spine does not do this. I literally just drew that line based off of one of them. It's just not it's not the right shape. Let's see if I sit up straight, spine, I mean, if we include like tailbone, spine kind of just goes like this. I think what it is this person got tired of having flat ass characters, so they went hyper stylized. All right, yep, this is on me. I can't draw this style because it like it for me it's not grounded enough in reality for my skill level to like pull off. Like I need to be able to envision it. And if that's not what a spine is, that's not what a spine is. So very cool artwork, but I can't work with that. I don't have the skill. Um who's liking my tweets? We might we've already drawn one of this person's works before. Who the hell is this? South Asia? Hey, how do we know? South Asia. It's they're like bots that are trying to get you to buy their garbage. Anyway, this doesn't help me with my body work, but this would help with a face. This is Stuika. I think we drew the I know what you what is it? I'm on to you meme version that they did. Um Here's why I'm thinking we might try and go for this. Stylized, it's anime. We can kind of pull that off. Relatively simple. I know it looks phenomenal. It's, you know, it's very stylized, it's very fun. Got the glowy eyes. We probably aren't doing that. We're probably not even going to get the color at this rate because we fucked everything up. I mean, this is kind of just like gray, white, and black anyway, outside of the eyes. But it's a good opportunity for eyes, something I just can't get. And this is a hair thing, something I really just can't get. So hopefully, maybe we can pull something off here. I was hoping to get some like full on body stuff, but I don't know. I don't know where to pull that out from. So I guess what I have to do is just stop using Twitter. I think that's probably the play. Look, at the end of the day, I'm pulling stuff from other artists, and this is gonna happen even if I stop using Twitter. But I'm pulling stuff from other artists, and a lot of these people probably are advanced amateurs, right? They maybe do it as a profession, so they are technically professionals, but they're just like advanced amateurs who have gotten good at their specific thing. And this isn't an accusation towards anyone in particular, but for me, at least the way I've been viewing how I'm doing this, I'm obviously quite a beginner. And I think I'll probably be a beginner even if I'm pulling out stuff like this because I just feel like there's always something to learn and always someone better than me. And I you know, I don't know what I'm doing for pretty much anything ever. Um but I feel like a lot of people get like good enough to a degree of something that they do it and they just send it on that, and that's the only thing they do. And that one thing can be pretty dang good, but at the end of the day, maybe they don't understand how a spine works. They don't understand how perspective works that well, right? Maybe they almost everything is face on because they just can't get those side angles. It's always simple stylized hair with, a couple of spikes here and there because you know what I mean? It's kind of like me reverting to drawing knives. It's just a couple of lines. They're really good though for trying to learn color now because it's just a couple of lines. So I get the lines, I get the shape, and now I can try and figure out color. And we have some new techniques, by the way, I wanted to try. I probably should have just gone for it. Anyway, um, like look at this. This is a really nice twisted face. It's got some dimension to it, right? It's very like menacing. It's very expressive. At the end of the day, though, this probably wouldn't translate particularly well to something more realistic or to something like hyper stylized like the last thing. Something I have to do more is uh what I'm doing now. I have to stop redrawing entire things and start like moving things around. I have to start using lasso. I don't fucking know, man. I have to start doing that more. I also should learn to use what's called the liquefy tool. Um, how are we doing on space? We're okay for now. Not ideal, but I think somebody just dropped a metal rod like right outside that window there. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Hopefully a fucking swing doesn't just come through. I'm gonna try and be a lot more sloppy with this sketch here than I usually am. Usually I try and get this sketch looking pretty fucking clean. My goal here is gonna be to get as much on paper, to like get as much detail out as possible because I really want to try and work on that hair. And the hair seems It seems, at a glance, it seems very, very not complicated. It is. It's very complicated. It's just like less complicated than like a lot of what you see, where they have like these infinite curls that just kind of fold in on each other because, people like that. Okay, I don't feel like this head shape's that great, but we're just gonna roll with it for now. So the reason this looks so weird is because this is all that they've done, and I don't have the shading. So they have shading here that gives contour, that gives like form to the nose that I do not have, so it looks just very 2D and unnaturally placed. The problem is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put that in. I don't know how to put that in, you know? So, you know, this is going to not work out too well for me. All right, so first thing, where is liquefy tool? This thing? Okay, so if I do something along this line, do I need to like make it bigger so it's just more consistent? Okay, this is not working the way I had hoped. So we're just gonna erase a lot of this for now. Hey, that's our first like real time giving it a shot, so we'll take the L. Okay. What I can maybe do is, can I liquefy this to make it larger? Not bad. We can like reshape it properly later. Okay. Hit him with that. Something more like that. Okay. This eye feels like it's way too big. Anyway, I was trying to make a point earlier, by the way, that like I'm copying people who maybe aren't actually like people I should be copying, but it's because I like what they've done. I like their style or whatever. I like what's going on. I like what's being shown. But like at the end of the day, I'm maybe like copying someone who's like, not 1,000% better than me, but like only, 200% better. So like they're better, they're, capable of pulling out something better, but maybe I shouldn't be, you know? This is my approach, by the way. This is how I've been doing them off stream. It's been a while since I've done an anime girl on stream. This is how I've been doing them off stream. My approach is to do it and just like get something down and then like slowly refine it. It's like infinite revisions basically. There's a lot of problems with this technique, but the one thing that it does do is if you stick with it, it will show results. But the problem is I feel like it's developing bad habits such as this what I'm doing now, like the relining things constantly, right? It kind of it puts me in a place where I'm doing these like really undefined lines and then I'll refine them later. It puts me in a place where I'm not necessarily putting forth my best right away, right? Because I'm like, well, I can fix it later, right? So it's like it's almost creating like a laziness. Um and of course, it's kind of messing up like any real consistency because if I get this far, especially off stream, and it takes me like 30 minutes and I'm like, you know what, I can't go anymore or I have to go do something, and then I come back, it's kind of like starting over because I might come back and be like, it's done, right? And I didn't like this and I just don't want to work on it anymore. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and shrink this a bit. How do I lock the dimensions again? I feel like we got to do that. Okay. So we've got some ear to draw roughly here. And then we've got some ear to draw roughly here. We'll not do any real detail with these yet because there's not really a point. Not gonna see it. Then we got some hair stuff going on. Now I feel like this eye is really just not looking good at the moment, but I don't know that there's anything I can do about this. But like this whole revision strat, I don't know. It's so questionable because like it does get me a better result, I feel like right now, but I just don't feel like it's the right way to be going about it. But like I also just don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I mean this is kind of I guess what happens when your main form of learning is like other people's work, right? It's YouTube videos, it's reading articles, if you will, right? Like I'm not getting the real time feedback of maybe like an art professor or something. Okay. No, that's too thick. Okay. How the fuck do I draw this, dude? What am I doing? What am I cooking up here, man? I feel like that just doesn't look right, but neither does really anything else I do, so fuck it. We're getting into that mentality, though, again, where I was talking about. I feel like that's problematic, where I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. If we just send it, we send it. I feel like that's usually where I perform best, but maybe it shouldn't be. Okay. So this is where we find out that the head's too small, I guess. Oh my god, dude. It's so fucking bad. I know that there's plenty of time to correct this, but it's times like this where I'm like, maybe I just should give the fuck up, bro. Okay. So first things first, we obviously have to fucking shrink this. There's no way around that. All right. So let's take this. Let's lower this layer's opacity just a smidge. And we're going to try and do like a refined sketch over this. Not so refined, but like refined for me. Maybe not that. We can do that in shading if we want to. Okay. Dude, why is that so fucking wobbly? Okay, we can fix any of that in a better stage, I think. Dude, ugh, I can't fucking draw straight. I mean, I never could, but it's like worse than usual. We're just gonna roll with that for a sec. Okay. Okay. That's too much. Don't look right. Okay. Okay. Feel like that looks like it wasn't intentional and it's really weird. All right, hear me out. This looks really weird on the original to me. Bro, this looks so ass. Jesus, dude. How do I fucking fix this? Okay. All right. So let's zoom out a sec. So let's get rid of that. All right. Head shape is just fucked, bro. Like, I think part of the problem is the the perspective is just way off on it. If we maybe fix it up, we maybe have a shot here. I don't think we really can though, is the problem. This somehow feels like it needs to be higher and lower at the same time. Okay. I feel like the mouth needs to be like angled differently. It's a big part of the problem. That will that help? Okay. All right, let's zoom out a sec. Let me just what, how do I flip this? Fuck, I don't remember how. Image. There we go. It actually it actually looks better this way. Okay. Image. Okay. Look. Hear me out. For me. For me. For me. It's awful. But it's not bad for me. Right? You know what I mean? Like for sketch phase 2, you ooh, wait, Jesus. All right. So, things that I think we're gonna have a lot of trouble going forward with, and we are already seeing perspective and the intention. I don't think I'm gonna get to coloring this. I get that it's shaded just like gray, and I think this is like a. It's not quite dot or like some sort of matrix shading. It's like almost like charcoal, but I believe this is fully digital. Um, but it's very much like small, like grains of rice shaped, like darkness that really give the shading character, and that's like on the neck and on the forehead, and that gives it dimension, right? That really sells the shape of things. And then there's like a full shadow as well. So like you get three different dimensions. You get the light, and the fact that the light is less up top because of those like charcoaly type shading methods, right? You get like less light there, so therefore you get the impression that you're looking up, and that part is not necessarily not getting as much light, but not reflecting as much light to your eyes as someone who's down here. So like right now, this kind of just looks like a bug-eyed crazy lady, and we might not get it past that phase. What I will say is head dimensions aren't great. Um, especially right here. I don't know, man. I don't know how to do it. But I feel like I understand the theory behind this. I just don't have the skill to exercise it. I just can't. It's the same with that last thing we did. I understand what they were going for. It was a very stylistic um like hold on, where's my phone? Let's see if we can't get you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, first off, that's not a good sign that I haven't. Okay. Let me deal with this stuff later. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Let's just, honestly, if I just search tattoo of a woman, I bet. Okay, these are all faces. First off, that's good news. Good news. This is holy art, by the way. Okay, how about tattoo of a woman? Well, this might get me something else. Okay, so these are all. I should have specified for a man. It's it's a very it's a very specific, very popular tattoo style. That is AI. Okay. I mean, I'm glad. I guess this fell off. This was very popular when I was like in high school. This is what people were getting. Um, let's see, 2000s tattoos. Oh, tramp stamps. Look at that. Uh, I feel like tramp stamps are probably still still popping the fuck off. Dude, how do I not? How am I not come across these? All right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. I guess For some reason, I just kept seeing them. I think it's because some of the people I played games with would talk about them and they would like send me not pictures of their own. They didn't have them, but I mean, this is however long ago, so 20 years ago or something at this point. But I guess I just saw them and it was like more than one person would be like, "Yo, these are so cool." But I think that fucking style is just not something I can draw. All right. Now, the question is, do I do another attempt at cleaning this up or do I send it on this, make a nice line art, and then try to actually shade this in? What if I... Why the fuck did that just fall over? What if I try to liquefy? Or like right here specifically. Can I like... Can we recover financially from this situation? We're definitely gonna... What the fuck is that? We're definitely gonna have to do a line art if this is what we're gonna stick with. I think maybe actually I need to bring this in, don't I? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to line art this. What I'm not liking is that these are practically the same, so we're gonna line art and then we're gonna try and like scoop those up, and we're gonna hopefully also clean up some stuff while we're line arting. I think that's my best option at the moment. I just don't got it. I'm just not that guy. We're gonna do... Sorry, I thought I... Jesus. All right, come on, man. We'll do 6. 6 is fine. Okay. So let's start roughly here. And something I'm going to start doing that I haven't really done in the past, I'm going to start using lasso tool for like coloring and shading things in. I just think that that's going to pay off. It was something I think I don't know if I mentioned it, but I was thinking about doing it when we were doing like the last bits of shading of the heads, where I couldn't figure out the best way to isolate things. It's gonna be kind of more work, but it's gonna be less work in the long run with potential for better results, in my opinion. So I think it's gonna pay off, because what that's gonna allow for me is the ability to isolate things better, and then like not have to worry about like, oh, what layer do I specifically need to do this on right this minute, or I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I didn't like how close those were in size, by the way. Okay. Feel like I'm getting a little lost right now. Doesn't feel long enough to me. Okay. I feel like I had like a bunch of stuff I had in mind and I was talking about, but we like focused the fuck up and now it's like what was I cooking? Was I cooking? Okay. Can I put that back? Thank you. Jesus, dude. Okay. All right. It's too big. Okay. Really does not look like the original. Not enough, like, dimension to the head, I feel like. Sorry. It's a little better. Okay. All right. So, that's not great. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to try and fix this up a little more. We're going to try something along those lines. Something along that. And then something along that line. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. Hopefully. So does that help me? No. Okay. I need to, like, slender up the neck without losing structural integrity. Deal with that later. Okay. Okay. Just doesn't look right, does it? And we'll put, like, ear there, I guess. No, that's way too fucking low. Ugh. What do I do? All right. So we need this to come up to, like, here somehow so that we can do that. And then, like, that somehow. But that doesn't look right at all, does it? That looks so off to me. You know what? It's the ear. Here is, like, probably about too low, but for this angle, I think it's right. What I need. So I have to keep in mind what was going wrong here wasn't so much that, how do I put it? It wasn't that it like didn't make sense, but it didn't make sense. You know? I need this to be just like slightly lower. So if we're looking up from here, normally the like ear lines up to here in the nose, but we're actually looking like up, so we should actually start seeing it lower. But I don't know that this is necessarily right. It just feels better. All right. I think we just send it on this for now because I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting any younger. So here's what we're gonna do. So I can still do like selecto dico based stuff. I think it would be best if I just lasso tool stuff. The problem is this is like this is insane to do. I have to one run this, man. Is there a way? So if I do that and then hold shift and then do that, will that? No. If I do that and hold control, can I continue it? On select. No. Edit selection? No. Okay. How do I unedit selection? There we go. Hmm. Convert to vector selection. Does that do anything for us? Okay. So this isn't gonna work the way I was hoping it would work. We can still get this to work. Wait, there's a selection mask? Oh, it's get that out of here, bro. It's still gonna man, I don't think I can do it right now. I need more practice with it. It's gonna look so stupid if I do it the way I want to do it. So I think what we'll do. Fuck, how do I do this? God damn it. I really don't like the way the neck looks, by the way. It's bothering me. Oh, that looks so stupid. Looks so stupid. I feel like it looked good before I fucked with it. Maybe not good, but it looked acceptable. Let's get rid of all this. Let's just start from scratch. Okay. So we come down from here. Then we come into this. And then we come down. Don't like it, but we're just gonna run with this. We're done. If I keep this up, it's not going anywhere. Okay. All right. How do we want to select? I don't know how to do this. Like, I have one idea and it's not gonna work. I'd use that and then no. Nope. Think there's just no way around this. All right. There's no way around this. So, I don't know what's going on here. Let's take this. There's ways to do what I want to do. It's just I don't have faith that I can keep a long line going all the way around by hand. It's just going to be easier to do this in segments, I guess. I'm sorry. So we're going to do this. We're going to take that. We're going to do base. Lart. It's weird that the selection mask is showing up now. I don't feel like it used to do this. But I don't want to deal with it right now, so. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this. We're just going to do this. So let's see how that looks. All right, so we got to invert. No, did I just deselect? Motherfucker, dude. I've really got to learn that hotkey because I'm going to have a fucking stroke. Okay, so that's working. Fantastic. She's gone. Okay. So here's what I got to do. Not pick black. Let's pick maybe like an in-between gray. We got to put the lard over that. So we have a nice little in-between gray here. Next up, we'll take a new layer. This one will be multiply dark. We'll just call it dark for now. I mean, technically, I guess I don't even have to change anything, right? Let's just change this layer's entire opacity. Then we can be a little more lenient with it. Okay. Hear me out. What is happening? All right, let's undo all that because I don't know what the fuck just happened there. Okay. What if we do something more along the lines of this? It's not possible with what I'm using. Come on, dude. All right. I fucking hate this. I hate this shit, dude. So frustrating. Sometimes I feel like the pen is weirdly too laggy. Like, it just shouldn't be that laggy. All right. So now we have that. Let's try and just blend a little bit, hopefully. Trust the process, please. So now we'll do a layer on top. We probably want to go much lighter. Oh, I didn't change it to lighten, that's why. Oh, I'm on that. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Let's maybe do a little more dark, like right here. I know we didn't draw in the teeth and all that yet, by the way. We're working on it. All right, so let's try and blend this so it's not too wonky. Okay, this is weirdly doing the opposite of what I usually have happen, which is, I guess, fine. Not holding control. I don't know why it just did that. Okay. So now we want, before this, probably like a base coat. Now this hair is mostly black. So I'm gonna assume if I do this, okay, it's not happening the way I expected. Do I want it over? Okay, so that blacks that out. Do I want this before that, but like between that? That might work. What am I doing? I feel like none of this feels right. Before dark, maybe? Hmm. No. How do I do this? Let's undo that for a minute. Here's what I'm gonna do. This probably isn't smart. Go to Lart. And like... There it is. I have to invert it, is that right? Can someone explain to me what the fuck is going on? Okay, that worked. Was I on eraser tool somehow? Okay, so let's go back to Lart. Should have just done it this way from the start. I thought we could maybe interestingly do it. Obviously a mistake. Sorry. What I get for trying something. That's my mistake. Never should have done that. Okay. This was always this is like simultaneously not a good way to do this, but the best way to do it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a good way to do it because I don't get some of my techniques. You haven't been here for most of this. Well, I mean, that's all good. How was the up? Oh my God. Wait, why didn't I hear that noise? I never heard it go off. I might have the wrong audio source on. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. Thanks for stopping by. How was the alpaca farm? Also, as you can see, this is not going well. Okay, so if I maybe move this under light, there we go. Okay. This is what we in the business call immense suffering. What business? I don't fucking know, man. I'll pack up my bags and go. What? What the fuck layer is this on? Oh, you know what? It's because I'm selected in. I'm a fucking moron. Scooped up shit, cleaned up old hay, and put new hay down for donkeys. Some. Oh, look at that. Pigs love belly rubs. Let's go. Over here pigging my shit, man. Pigs also love human meat. They find them delicious. They call it long pork. Okay. The suffering will continue. I think I might give up and like have to come back to this another time because I feel like I'm just not in it. Not in it to win it, you know? I'm not cooking, as it were. Feel like we need more light. But like more dark as well. If I just like go white, like right here. I really lighten this up. And then, you know, try to harsh my mellow, as it were. Fuck am I cooking up? By being here basically towards the later part of the stream as always. You're doing very well. I don't know if I don't know if I'd say I'm doing very well, but thank you. This is not going the way I intended. Let's just put it that way. This is what we in the business call scuffed. Yeah, I think maybe what I'll try and do is come back and work on this because I feel like look at this hair. What the fuck was I cooking up here, man? I usually don't even like I usually just move on once I fuck something up so bad. I feel like I can revisit this and make it better. Like maybe I'll look up like real hair technique and try and like actually cook something up. It's so like frustrating to have something in front of you and just not be able to do it. Take the damn hell no. We don't take compliments. Okay. We don't take those. Boy, if you do, and your boy if you don't. Maybe I can find a real fucking eye technique as well to work on. That would be fucking nice. Feel like this really just needs to be black. But this is a low opacity layer, so maybe I do this on a different layer. Yeah, maybe we do that on a different layer. If we do it on base, will that show up as more black? No, this has to be on top. We'll have to do like a shadow layer, I guess. Here's what I should probably do. Something along these lines. And then, I can... Actually, no, I can't because I didn't do the chin. Hold on. I could just do it all by hand. What a smart person would do. Say we undo all that. Let's step back and look. I don't know how this got up here. I don't know what layer this is on. Let's try and find it real quick. Bro. Bro, where is it? Bro. It was on base. Alright, let's take a second. Alright. Head's too wide. The angle's wrong. For once, I actually kind of got it straight up and down, but it actually needed to be that way. We might be able to like liquefy tool some of this to fix it. The eye probably needs to come in. Again, we could probably liquefy tool that and that to like fix that. The mouth, maybe the nose. I think that's what I'll do. I usually just like move on with our day. Maybe we'll make this our multi-day project. What I'll probably try and do is figure out a better shading technique. I'll look everywhere. I will scour the internet and not find it because I'll see a bunch of stuff, but it'll just be too advanced for me. I guess this would be easier if I just made the whole background black. Could hide our mistakes. The ultimate artist can't even take a compliment. I mean, how can you? I feel like I'm looking at something so much better, and I didn't even come close to capturing it. You know what I mean? I feel like the best strategy here is to get off for now and come back refreshed next time so that like I can actually fix all of the mistakes. Otherwise, I'll just keep compounding my mistakes. Right? I feel like I have way too many layers here for like no fucking reason. Like there's no benefit. Sometimes you just have to like look at your stuff and be like, "You know what? I'm making a mistake here and I shouldn't be." We'll just call it what it is, I guess. Thanks for stopping by, but I am gonna go ahead and get off. I definitely see. I feel like I see the vision, but I don't know how I'm gonna get it there. But thanks for being here. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I hope you enjoyed your alpaca time, and hopefully I can catch you in the next one, whenever that is. Bye.